I'm going back to the headset. Just too much inconsistency, too many problems with that other mic. And if I learned anything from the Avs in tonight's game, just do what works and get the job done. So let me know if the sound quality is better or if you would prefer I go back to the other mic. But for this one, Avs win 3-2 over the Anaheim Ducks in overtime.
Oh my goodness gracious! Wasn't in time! Score! Justice is served!
As has been the case in every single game so far this season, the Avs score first, and many of them have come very quickly. This one no different. The Avs drawing a power play very early on, and they managed to convert with that second unit that just seems so consistent so far this season. Do what works. That's what the Avs do on this play. You're going to see both Donskoy and Saad combine to win a puck battle. It's pretty greasy, but it keeps the Avs in possession and in the offensive zone. So the power play continues instead of being over right there. And look, getting it back to the magic men of Girard and Taves, never a bad decision right now. Taves hits this one to Girard, and look at how aggressive this guy comes out on the puck to attack Taves, and then is super high because all of a sudden everyone has scouted this Girard back pass to Taves. So Girard says, all right, you're going to come out that high? Cool, I'll walk in down this side and make everyone come to me. All four Ducks staring right at Sammy. They're all in a line. Oops, it looks like they've completely forgotten about, you can just see the stick there of Jonas Donskoy. All the space in the world if Girard can get this pass through. You already know he can. He's a great passer. Finds Donskoy, makes it easy for him. Donskoy even gets to settle it down before finishing. So you're starting to sense some patterns in the Avs gameplay so far this season, and that is a good one. That they get out to early leads and often draw penalties out of the other team early as well. You like that. It's what comes after that you don't like as much. Early in the first, the Avs are out shooting Anaheim at 9-3, but then they start to get themselves into penalty trouble, and the rest of the period is almost all Ducks, with the shots ending up 18-13 in the Ducks' favor after the first period. Now, the Avs' PK continues to be quite effective, so they escape without giving up a goal, and not a small part of that is Philip Krubauer, who played fantastic in every single aspect of the game tonight, essentially straight up out-dueled John Gibson to win this game. And a bounce here, a bounce there, this game might look extremely different. It's the Avs in this one that hit 2 posts, so we're up to 4 bad posts on the season. Krubauer does get a tiny bit of help as well, as the Ducks do hit a single post themselves for the 5th good. So, you know, bounce is still pretty even early in the year. I really don't want to talk about the second period. It was just an all-around terrible, boring, sloppy period of hockey, which is also quickly becoming a pattern of Avalanche hockey this season that is not great. The Avs just looked completely out of focus in the second period, top to bottom, which exemplified the issues in their middle six even more. The second line is just invisible. Again, Kadri not doing anything effective. Saad continues to look lost in this team's systems. Whoever you throw on their other wing right now, look, Nichushkin played fine, but he's not actively helping them produce in the offensive zone, and that's exactly what they're lacking. I said it in last episode, I'll say it in this one again. They need Burakovsky back, but he can't be this important to your depth scoring. You need other guys driving play. 47 seconds into the second period, the Avs give up the equalizer to the Ducks. This play starts messy, but it's not a problem. An errant pass from the Ducks comes through to Graves. It's in his skates, and it ends up ricocheting off and deep into the Avs zone. This is fine. Not great, but no complaints here. This should be an easy pickup for Ryan Graves of the puck, and he can do whatever he wants with it. Even gets a little pick set for him by Girard here. As he collects the puck, he has whatever options he wants. If he wants to try and skate it out, he can. If he wants to rim it out, he can. If he wants to reverse it, he can, and Girard can slip in behind and pick it up. All perfect options. He waits an extra second and then eventually tries to reverse this puck, but it's just an absolutely awful reverse. Instead of trying to get it up and around the boards, or honestly even just directly up out to the boards, he ends up throwing it pretty much directly into the back end boards, which Girard is not expecting, and he shouldn't expect, because that's just a terrible move with the puck. So Girard is left behind the play, was working his way to be in position for a reverse, but This puck is now Anaheim Ducks property, and it's a complete scramble from here for the Avs defense, right? They have both their defenders committed in behind the goal line. The forwards are rushing to get back, but it's just nonsense. There are players all over the ice. You can see how ridiculously open Raquel is up here, who eventually comes in and picks up the puck. The Avs try to recover. You get a lot of crossed wires here as you have the defensemen coming out while the forwards are all crashing down to basically the same spot. Raquel just holds this one, lets the play develop, eventually finds the fifth man coming in Lindholm, and Lindholm just unleashes a bomb here with no one on him. It's in the net. The Avs' sloppiness gets punished, and that's kind of the case. That's how it should be, right? When you make mistakes, you expect them to be punished. Right now, it's happening to the Avs a lot. Ducks outshoot the Avs 9-3 throughout the second period. Just a disaster of a period. The Avs are extremely lucky that Philip Krubauer single-handedly decided that they were going to get out of that period still tied. And then we have the third period. This third period was a change of pace. The Avs were significantly better than they had been in previous games, and that is huge. Interestingly, their energizer for this third period was Bowen Byram, the new kid on the blue line. Maybe the third period is Bow time. Multiple great shifts, fantastic plays, some high risk, as you see here, but he was just working the puck effortlessly. When you see any player moving the puck with that type of confidence, it's easy to try and get that guy the puck as the game goes on. That's exactly what the Avs do, and they get rewarded for it. Byram's skill is absolutely NHL ready. Alright, first of all, credit Mikko Rantanen, who straight up just wins a drag race on a dumped in puck to keep this play alive. He could have easily given up on that and it would have been icing, but instead, the Avs get possession in the offensive zone as he works it back up high. From there, he just goes cross ice to Byram. And now, look, I want to explain Byram's confidence to you. This is Nathan MacKinnon right here. This up here is going to be Cale Makar, so he's got pretty good options when it comes to choosing a player to give this puck to. Instead, he walks down the wall himself, gets his eyes up, recognizes Gibson, recognizes the defense, and just off screen recognizes Rantanen creeping into his favorite spot. All is a 19-year-old playing his second ever NHL game. What does he do once he realizes Rantanen is now open? He goes between the legs on the pass like he's done it 100 times before. Hell, he probably has done it 100 times before at the junior level, and Rantanen makes sure he gets his first NHL point. I almost feel bad for the rest of the league. The amount of damage the Avs defense is going to do over the next handful of years is going to leave teams just tortured. Byram to Mikko for what should have been the dagger, but the Avs immediately get sloppy again after the fact. It takes just a minute and 20 seconds for this game to go back to even. Two-man forecheck pressure here from the second line. This is honestly fine. They even do a good job to create a little bit of chaos, but Kadri decides to commit to a puck here, and first of all, he does not win the race to the puck. It gets touched, so a bad committal already there. And then he's going to blow a tire, which becomes a problem. First of all, Kadri probably never should have committed if you look at the game situation. Up 1 goal with 12 and a half minutes left. The problem is this is Ryan Graves, also committing up higher as a defenseman here. And with the Ducks now in complete possession of the puck and Kadri having fallen over, Graves needs to turn around, get on his horse, and just pray that this play does not pass him on the way down the ice. Instead, he kind of gets caught in no man's land trying to shift towards the boards, goes for a reachy poke check that just completely takes him out of the play. At that point, off to the races it goes. Graves not the best skater, so he's going to get beat up the ice, creates a 2-on-1 situation. Honestly, almost a 3-on-1, really. The man taking Graves out of the play in the middle here kind of just created a disaster of a play. Krubauer, you can't really blame him for much on this one. The pass across, he even gets a piece of it, but you can't expect any goalie to stop that one. We're into Game 5 now. Rust can't really be an excuse anymore. Your brain's got to be turned on. You got to know the hockey situation and act accordingly. The good news, as I said earlier, though, this was still a very solid third period. Outside of that one major mistake, Grubauer at least took care of things behind the Avs when they weren't perfect, and a minute after that goal or so, the Avs had a chance to end this game. Nathan MacKinnon gets to take a penalty shot. MacKinnon's never been incredibly fancy with these things. He doesn't do anything crazy, comes down pretty straight, does play with the puck quite a bit, gets it in, and just tries to pull the trigger. You see a couple moves there. But John Gibson is just a beast. I mean, he doesn't bite on anything, doesn't even flinch. He just stands there and essentially lets Nathan MacKinnon fire the puck right into him for Gibson. That guy is a beast in net. This season, through 4 games, he has a .929 save percentage, and he only has 1 win. That's just criminal from the Ducks. Takes a couple quality saves from both goaltenders, but this game eventually trickles its way into overtime. 1 point for the Avs is decent, but anything less than 2 feels like a loss. The overtime was pretty much a snooze fest right up until the very end of it when the Avs finished things off. The Ducks controlled the puck for pretty much the entire overtime, and they didn't even register a single shot on goal. I think the entire first 45 seconds or minute, they were kind of just circling with the puck in the neutral zone, not accomplishing anything. Eventually, though, a mistake gets made, and the Avs are the ones capitalizing this time, and that's the difference in the hockey game. Rantanen has managed to force the puck back on Anaheim and is exhausted, so is now going for a change. As they change, Gibson tries to take advantage. He steps way out and tries to throw a puck up ice heavily here, so the Avs would be behind the play. Problem is, it doesn't work out at all. This blur of a white thing here is Cale Makar, and he read Gibson all the way home, steps up into the neutral zone, and gets this puck going the other way for a break. Yeah, it's still Cale Makar, right? So no chance you're keeping up with him as he breaks into the zone. This is Gabe Landeskog coming with him. They step in. Cale Makar does everything right on this play. He does the fakes. He appears to get John Gibson to bite, and then sends the puck across to Landeskog, but John Gibson is actually beyond human in the net, so somehow he gets across and makes the save on Landeskog here, which, what the hell even happened? I mean, just tip your cap and move on, John Gibson, because my goodness. And then the play falls apart. Landeskog is able to collect. John Gibson YOLO poke checks, which doesn't work out, and as he gets up, is, look at this, look at how far out of the net he is. He's like way out here. Landeskog doesn't even realize it yet because he's turning around to control the puck. He gets his eyes up and essentially right now realizes, oh my god, you are nowhere near this net. I can go around to the other side and score this goal. As AJ Hafley put it on the podcast, he basically had the Solid Snake alert image happen to him. So, that's exactly what he does. Looks like Gibson somehow just about beats him to the post here. It's kind of a both guys arrive at the same time moment, but Gibson, not set in his positioning, just slides off it and right into the net it goes. And that goes down as a win on the score sheet. Not even a shootout, so it counts for the row column as well. Look, you can break down all the moving pieces, why the Avs look bad, why the Avs look good. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how they looked. It's counted as 2 points. The standings don't care about anything else. From a long-term perspective, you know the Avs are better than that, and you expect them to play better, but if they're winning, they're winning. And when you have Philip Grubauer throwing up a .947 save percentage behind you, sometimes it's pretty easy to win. We've had some salty shows already, so let's focus on the positives here. Bowen Byram ain't coming anymore. He is here, and he is going to stay. You still have the top line absolutely going off. Goals from Rantanen and Landeskog in this game. The Avs, basically playing without half their forward core functioning, are winning hockey games. Oh, and Girard and Taves are still absolutely sick, too. You're 3-2 if you're Colorado. You're above 500, and you know the hockey is going to get better, probably by a significant margin. If you're thinking about that, you gotta be feeling pretty good. You just have to clean up the areas where it's rough. We'll end it with Mikko talking to Byram after he just set him up beautifully for an easy goal there. Mikko skating towards Byram here. He looks at him, he just goes, "What an effing play!" That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Check out the DNVR for all of our other post-game coverage as well. We're also live 5 days a week with the podcast on this very YouTube channel, so be sure to like and subscribe. I am Rudo, and look at that, living up to my last name. Got a nice red nose for this one.
Avalanche time, come on, grab your friends, we're going to the playoffs again with Nate the Dog and Gabe the Big. The fun isn't over yet, it is Avalanche time.